I've never worked a 9 to 5 job before and I'm 26 years old. Hey guys, my name is Sabah. I'm the owner of a multi-6-figure online business, and today I'm going to share the story of how I've never worked a job before and straight out of college built my online business. Now I'm going to take you guys way back when I was 14, 15 years old, and I always remember telling my mom that I never wanted to work a job. I always had that like entrepreneurial spirit of starting something of my own, but back then I was like, do I want to be a fashion designer? Do I want to start my own company? Do I want to work for somebody else? I did not know. Now my story basically started when I met my first mentor when I was in college around 19, 20 years old. He came and spoke at one of my classes and I only went to go listen to him speak for extra credit. I walk into the room, I literally sit on like the first row and I see him walk in. He has a big smile on his face. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to dread this talk for the next 45 minutes because I honestly never like to listen to speakers. But the minute he started to speak, I started to perk up and I started to listen to what he had to say. He said when he graduated college, he started an online business because he never wanted to work for somebody else. And 45 minutes later, I knew that was going to be me too. So I basically reached out to him, became one of his interns, and I started to learn everything about entrepreneurship, building your own business, working with other people who have already created something huge in their life. And I started to document what I was doing. I basically became that college student who was becoming an entrepreneur, and I started to share my story online. I would blog every single week. I started to create content on Instagram. I would go live on Facebook and share, hey, I'm in college and I'm gonna start this business. Watch me do it. And honestly, looking back, that's probably the best thing that I could have done because guess what happened? People started to notice and they started to follow me. I would get people reach out to me and be like, oh my goodness, you're so inspiring. You're in college. You want to start a business. You're creating all this content. I want to follow you. So fast forward about 2 years later, I was a junior in college and I always wanted to become an author. I wanted to write my own book, but I thought you had to be super successful, have a business, or do something spectacular in order to write a book, but I was going to prove everybody wrong. So when I was 20 years old, I wrote and published my first ever best-selling book in 30 days. Yes, you heard that right, in 30 days. And I actually have it right here, Enrolling in Confidence, How to Live the Lifestyle You Want in College. Back then, since I was in college, I wanted to write a book for college students so that way they could be so driven in their career while still being like the typical college student at university. At this point of the story, you're probably wondering, you got to university, you found a mentor, you started to document great content online, you wrote a book. How did you actually start a business? Now, this is what happened. As I started to create content on social media, people started to notice different skills that I had that they wanted to learn. Suddenly, I started to have people reaching out to me asking, how are you creating content on social media? How are you growing an audience? How are you so good at speaking? How did you write a book? How did you start landing media features and got on TEDx and ABC and Fox News? How are you doing all of these things? Teach me. And that is when I realized I had a specific skill set that people would actually pay me money for if I were to teach them how to do that very thing in their life or in their business. Once I realized that, I made a commitment to myself that when I graduated college, I would never have to work a 9 to 5 job because I knew I had the skills to build my own business. So in August of 2017, I remember writing down in my notebook before the first day of my last year of college that when I walk across the stage in May of 2018, I will have my own business. And spoiler alert, I actually did it. And to make it even better, I documented every single day of my senior year by doing a daily Facebook Live for like 265 days straight, showing everybody the journey of me starting an online business while still being a college student, while still trying to graduate, while still having a social life. And my last year of college, that is where my brand and my business, it blew up. People start to reach out. I started to get speaking engagements. I got featured on Fox News as the world's first person documenting her senior year by doing a daily Facebook Live.
And And you're taking on this big thing of your big push right now is Facebook Living every single day of your senior year.
Yeah. So I actually started back in August when I was entering my last year of college and realized that I wanted to show everyone the journey. So show everyone the lows, the highs, the successes and failures of being a full-time college student, taking 18 credits, doing 2 majors, but then also being a full-time entrepreneur.
So since I knew I had all of these people reaching out to me, needing help when it came to building a brand on social media, I decided to start my own business, which was being a social media manager. And if you don't know what a social media manager is, it's basically you managing social media accounts for local businesses, online businesses to grow their accounts and bring more clients into their door. So guess what I did? I did the old school approach of typing up a PowerPoint with the entire slideshow of why you should hire me to be your social media manager. So I wrote that up. I think my monthly charge was like $500 or like $1,500 in terms of like setup, and then $500 on retainer. And what I basically did was I took my laptop with the slideshow and I walked into local businesses back in Iowa. That's where I'm from. Walked into local businesses and told them, hey, I can help you grow your social media and bring in more clients into your door. Will you give me 10 minutes to show you what I can do for you? The first person said, nope. Second person said, yes, I'll listen, but they didn't hire me. Third person, I walked in, they're like, yes, let me listen to what you have. 25 minutes later, I hired my first client for $1,500 a month. And at that moment, the first time that I hired that person, I knew that this was going to be my career. So over the next few months, January, February, March, as I started to approach closer to graduation, I started to get more clients. And when May came around, the last day of me recording my daily Facebook Live, walking across stage, I have built my business to a point that I didn't have to work a 9-to-5 job. And when I graduated, not only did I feel so free, but I knew this was the end of such an amazing area and the beginning of a new chapter. Now, the story doesn't end there. I graduated about 4 years ago, and now what I do is completely different than being a social media manager. Now, for the first year after I graduated, I was still being a social media manager. I was managing social media accounts, and then I got to a point in my business where I hit around $5,000 a month, and I realized being a social media manager and growing this business wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. Because if you're familiar with agency work, you're doing the work for these businesses, and in order to grow, you need to have more people on your team. And for me, I realized I like to be in front of the camera. I love to work with clients hands-on, not necessarily behind the scenes. So then I was having a conversation with one of my friends, probably in the beginning of 2019, going into 2020, and they said, Sabah, you're amazing when it comes to speaking. You're amazing when it comes to working with a client face-to-face. Why don't you try out coaching and consulting? And I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I love to teach. I love to speak on stages. I'm really good at helping people create great habits and consistency in order for them to build a massive brand online. Because if you guys remember, for the first 3-4 years before I ever even started a business, I built an online brand just by me creating content on social media. So that's what I did. I made a post on Facebook. I'm like, hey guys, I am coming out with a coaching program. This is what it looks like. If you're interested, send me a DM. And lo and behold, like an hour later, someone sends me a DM. I get on a call, and that was the first time that I landed a $4,000 coaching client for 3 months. And honestly, I can end this video right now because the rest is history. So for the next 3 years, now we're in 2023. I'm recording this in February 2023. Since then, I have built a multi-6-figure online business teaching people how to grow their social media, grow their brand, to build an online-based business 100% organically through attraction marketing, which means no cold calling, no cold reach outs, no sending 100 emails, you truly building a brand on social media that people fall in love to and they want to buy every single thing that you sell. Now, looking back at my journey, I am so thankful and I'm so grateful that before I ever even started a business, I just fell in love with social media and I fell in love with sharing my story. If I were to actually backtrack and tell you guys one of the pivotal points that allowed me to open my eyes and see that I have a story to share on social media, it was this conversation. conversation. If you guys remember, when I was 19 years old, I met my mentor. Remember, he was a speaker at my university, and I remember going out to dinner one night with him and some other people. And he turned to me and he asked me, he was like, Sabah, tell me your story. And at that moment, I was like, wait a minute. I don't have a story. I have never done anything interesting in my life. And I know you watching this, you might feel the same way. And he turns to me and he says, Sabah, everybody has a story. And I realized up until then, I had a massive story to share people and a massive story that would actually help so many people on social media. The reason why I'm sharing this and the reason why I even wanted to record this video was you have a story, you have a message, you have a skill set, you have an expertise that people are actively looking for you, not somebody else, not Susie over here or Bob over here. They are looking for you and your story for you to get on social media, to build a brand, to build an audience so you can help them get out of their situation. Whether you're working a job right now or whether you already started your business, I hope this opens your eyes to show you the possibilities and the capability that you have using social media to build such an amazing business and brand. Now, if you're watching this, you're like, okay, I am sold. I want to build my online business. These are the first 3 steps that I would take in order for you to get started. Number 1, start posting on social media. I don't care if you don't even know what business you want to start. I don't care if you don't even know what niche, what message, just start posting. Remember, I posted for years before I ever even sold a product. And when I did, I immediately signed on clients because they fell in love with me as a person. So start posting today. Number 2, think of a problem that you want to help people solve. When it comes to building a business, you want to get super clear on a problem because when you have a problem, you can outline a solution, whether that is creating free content or coming up with your own product. So think about what are specific problems that maybe my family, my friends, my clients, people at my job come to me for, and make a list of all the problems that you can help somebody with. And then the last piece that you want to do, based on that list of problems, think about what type of business do I want to build? Do I want to become a coach? Do I want to become a consultant? Do I want to create a course, a digital product? What type of business do I want to build? And I'm sure in the next few videos, I'm going to show the best businesses to build this year. But think about, brainstorm, and what type of business would you want to create? And that will be your framework for the next day to figure out how to build your online business and get started. I am such a firm believer that anybody can build a 6-figure online business just by using their current skill set and their knowledge. And if that's you, drop a comment below and let me know what type of business do you want to start. I'm going to reply back to you because I replied to every one of my comments. If you guys love this video, make sure to hit like, comment, subscribe because I come out with weekly videos showing you how to build your own online business and create a life of freedom. I love you guys so much, and as always, make sure that you stay unforgettable.